All right, we're live. Good morning, everybody. I have the mother and brother of Miss Jessica Reid, and I think this was an important interview to have. I spoke about Miss Jessica Reid, 2 or 3 times on my platform, and it got the ball rolling on some developments of Mr. Charlemagne the God. But I think some things that are being put out in the media may not necessarily be true. So we're gonna let the mother and the brother speak about what's actually the facts. So go ahead. And thank you guys personally for coming. And I know everybody's excited to hear from you.
Thank you for allowing us to be on, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I am Reed's mother. First, I want to thank Mr. Brown for having us on his platform. I want to thank all of the supporters and the YouTubers, Star and family, friends, everyone of all of those who contribute to doing shedding light on Jessica Reid's story. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, and we thank you. There's a lot to cover. I'm going to start out from the beginning. We are here because we want to talk about Jessica and talk about her story and the truth. So I want to start first with the DNA.
Hold on 1 second, ma'am. They're saying it's a sound issue. Can you hear me? They're saying it's a sound issue. I don't know if it was your son's audio, because we hear you clear now. I think it might have been your son's audio. So go ahead and continue, because I think. Anymore. Yeah. Okay. Well, your sound is good now, so just go ahead and continue. And when we come back in, I think he's going to fix his sound. So go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead and
continue. Okay. I want to start first with the DNA. I've heard a lot about people talking about the DNA had proved him innocent. DNA did not prove Charlemagne innocent. And I want to state some facts so that can be up, because that's all I hear, all over the place. Well, he's innocent. DNA proved him innocent. No, he is not innocent. And the DNA did not prove him innocent. There was no analysis performed. The tests were inconclusive. And I'm going to add a little bit and understand. I have a document here from South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, Forensic Services, Laboratory Report. This is the report that was done on my daughter and on him. She took a rape kit, the sexual. She was given that. It states here that blood, there was no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis performed. On him, Charlemagne, Leonard Larry McCalvey, blood, no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis performed. No analysis performed means that there were no detailed examination of anything complex in order to understand its nature or to determine its essential features. There was no study. There was no study on this. So that's why it's inconclusive. Because it was not leading to a firm conclusion, not ending doubt or dispute. So this is why the DNA did not prove his innocence. And I have the document right here. It's inconclusive. There was no analysis performed on any of the tests that were given. None of them.
Can you put that closer to the screen so people can see it a little better? Just kind of center it in the camera.
Sure. And if they want the document, they'll be able to get it. They can, I'll give the email before we leave, and they can request the documents. I'll be more than glad to send them.
Okay, I'll put that in the description box. Okay, you can go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. Also, this is from the state of South Carolina, County of Berkeley, State of South Carolina versus Leonard L. McCalvey. And he was ordered to submit blood tests. This is the blood test. So it was very difficult for me to go over all this. I mean, it was very difficult for me to even go over the videos, you know, the DJ academic videos and all that stuff. But, you know, I had to listen to it because I want to put the truth out there, because there's so many lies. And even Charlemagne, I mean, he is a liar. And I'm here to say it. He's a liar. The truth is not in him. So he had to take blood, yes. But on the DJ academic, he says he had to take hair follicles and all that stuff. Well, I challenge that. Where is the documents? Where's the statements that you had to take all those tests? Because on my documentation, and you're here, does not state anything in regards to you taking hair follicles or anything. You took blood, you gave blood, that's it. And there was no analysis performed on that blood. So how does the DNA prove you innocent? Liar. Now I'm going to really tell everyone the reason he was able to take a plea to the lesser crime. It had nothing to do with the DNA, because the DNA is inconclusive. There was no analysis performed. He did not take the higher charge, couldn't be given the higher charge because the victim was uncooperative. My daughter, 15 years old, was traumatized after that incident. She was traumatized. I don't think I can explain to you the severity of this. I don't think I can explain the pain that she went through and that her family went through on June 8th, 2001. So that's why he's still here, out and not in jail or under the jail, because I did not let her testify. Because when I went in that emergency room and saw my daughter uncontrollably shaking, when I saw her hysterical, out of her mind, traumatized by what just happened to her, I could not let her testify on the witness stand. I didn't want her to repeat that pain and suffering, which I knew she would if she had gone on that stand. Cross-examine jurors or whatever. And I didn't want that for her. So I made the decision not to let her testify at that time. And I took my children and we moved out of the state of South Carolina. And I took them and we moved to Virginia. At that time, I was hysterical myself and being a victim myself of abuse. I know the pain. So yes, that was the decision I made then. I made that decision. You know, I was thinking about her well-being and her state of mind, and I wanted her safe. Now, Charlemagne, I'll tell you, how he sleep at night, I don't know. How he is able to go on YouTube videos, you know, podcasts, The Breakfast Club, writing a book, or anything. How can he sleep at night talking about giving my daughter Spanish fly, drugging and raping, talking about it as if it's some joke?
To me, it just seems like he's so protected. He finds power in talking about it. A lot of people that are sick like that, you know, they find power, you know, in dominating a person over and over and over again. And so,
Yeah.
you know, he, like you said, he talked about it on air. So
Yes, he did.
he's a pretty protected guy. So I just had to interject that. So I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess, you know, the powers that be are protecting him, you know, but I'm not bothered by that, you know, because I believe in a higher power. So I really don't care. And that's why I'm here. I don't care what he possessed, material things, or, you know, these high profile attorneys who want to send cease and desist. I don't care. You are a liar and you committed these crimes and you're trying to cover it up. Listen, it's over. Okay? It's over. I have a lot more to say. So much more, because I'm tired. As a mother, I'm tired. It's been 20 years since that incident. And I watched my daughter suffer through those 2 years, our family nearly torn apart. You don't get away with this. I don't care that you cannot be tried again. I don't care that the case is closed because you took a lesser deal because Jessica didn't testify. I don't care about that. It could have been 50 years from now. It doesn't matter to me. When it's the right time, it's the right time. You need to come clean. Okay? You need to come clean and tell the truth and stop lying and stop covering up those other two men, your dudes. Who are your dudes? Who are your dudes? You talk about them so boldly in the DJ Academic video. You talk about my daughter, when she was up there just hysterical, screaming, yelling, throwing TV. This is facts because it's documented. And you told on yourself. You told on yourself. So my daughter was up there in this room, probably locked, that she can't get out, holding her against her will after what happened to her. And what do? You said that your dudes were saying, man, there's some girl upstairs. She, bugging out. That's what you said. That your dude said. That don't sit right with me. The whole thing you were saying is a total lie. It's a total lie. Where are these dudes at that told you that my daughter was up in that room, hysterical, trying to get out? What kind of man are you to withhold information like that? What kind of man are you? You know these dudes, so who are they? Who are they? We will find out. We will find out who those two men are. And we're investigating right now. So this is not over. This is far from being over. Another thing he said was he didn't get a warrant. There was no warrant. There was a warrant for his arrest. Anybody who wants these papers, feel free to, and I'll give you the email at the end of the recording. But yeah, there was a warrant for his arrest, and it was a warrant for his arrest for criminal sexual conduct with a minor. These are facts. And what I want to encourage people
Can you read that charge one more time, please? Because a lot of people don't know about it, so they can go look it up. Can you read that charge one more time, please?
Yes, criminal sexual conduct with a minor. That was the arrest warrant for. And so these are facts, These are facts that can't be lied on, no matter what you say. This is real life. This is serious. This is not a joke. My daughter's not a joke. This family's not a joke. We live and breathe just like anybody else. We're not mechanical. This is for real for us. You out there talking and laughing and giggling and making jokes and mockery about what you did, and it's supposed to be okay. Well, it's not okay. None of this is okay. You don't get a free pass on this. No, this is bigger than us. You don't get a free pass.
And this is why it was important to bring you on, because I call it the go along, get along gang. And they do get a free pass, and they have been getting a free pass for so long. But I think through stories like yours and people just hearing the true information, because a lot of times the media puts out the
Yes,
information falsely, and so people just go with who they like. So
yes,
and they think they can't be canceled, but the people can cancel them. The people can speak today
yes,
and unsubscribe today, and so we got to start taking our power back together as
yes,
a people, and get real information out there, and stop just hearing half truths, because
yes,
this culture of pulling up on people and hurting one another. This is why we got to get back to love, because people like yourself, people like your son, it affects the entire family, and not just victimizing one person. You're affecting the
exactly.
entire generation of people. So I just wanted to say that, so you can go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
Yes, I do agree. I do agree with that because, but when I said it's bigger than us, um, there's so many victims out there, you know, and, we're doing justice for Jessica. And in return, we're doing justice for everyone, for all of the women, men, boys, and girls who have been victimized and then pushed aside like they don't matter, making them feel, you know, like they don't belong or they're nothing. But
I was called
clearly,
that by one of the go along, get along gang members. That's exactly how they feel. And there's video out there. He said my life was dirt. My life was nothing. And if
mm,
they think like that about me, and they think like that about
yeah,
everybody. So it's a
yeah,
sad truth that I'm exposing, but people get to see
yeah,
it on front screen now.
yeah, absolutely. And it hurts. It hurts when people say things like that, you know, it affects your life and you have to address it. I've learned that you have to address things, you know, because it happened to you, happened to me, Jessica, my family. It'll happen to other people. It'll keep happening until someone takes a stand and says, listen, this got to stop. Yes. So I do agree with you. Well, more documents, facts of uh, Larry McCalvey, Charlemagne the God. I tell you, it burns my spirit, to watch this person. I mean, it was a time, boy. That's why we came out in 2017, 2018, because this dude was everywhere. And you talking about trauma, my daughter, we turn on the radio in the car and he was, his voice, laughing, and she's been suffering. She was 15. And I'm going to tell you how conniving and sneaky he is after I finish this, because these are indictments I want to also let everyone know. He was indicted. He was indicted by the state of South Carolina, County of Berkeley. Indictment for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, Leonard Larry McCalvey. He was indicted. He was also indicted for criminal sexual conduct with a minor in the second degree. So this is not a joke. This is real life. This really happened. He wasn't always Charlemagne the God. You know, that name he gave himself. He was Leonard Larry McCalvey from Mounts Corner. A young guy from Mounts Corner. Now he has a past that he wants to lie about. Listen, I understand. God forgives. But you still have to be responsible for the actions that you commit. You can't run those. And lying about them is only going to keep bringing it back until things are justified. So I want to go over a little bit on DJ Academics transcript. This was published in July 21st, 2013. And he was on that show talking about the incident. He has so much lies up here, and so it's just not funny. And I would encourage everyone, if you could go and look at that, if you haven't already. It's the DJ Academics video. Well, Charlemagne explains being accused falsely of rape. I watched that video and it made me sick on my stomach. This man could sit up there and lie like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. He couldn't keep still, if you notice. He was fidgety. His eyes were going everywhere but where it should have been, directly on the person he was talking to, fiddling with his phone. I mean, lying for being a liar all over him, actually. And if you are good with examining stuff like that, I mean, it's not hard to see. First of all, he was talking about incident occurring, he said, like he was 20 years old or something. He was 22 years old. Okay, so you don't know when this happened and how old you were? He said he was throwing a party when he, let me go back a little bit. Okay, so I met Charlemagne one day. My daughter came to me and she said, Mom, my friend wants to take me to lunch. Okay, he was going to take her and some of her friends to lunch. So I said, I got to meet this person, you know. So she went downstairs and she brought him upstairs. And I met him, introduced himself briefly. And he told me, he says, she's like a sister to me. Don't worry, I won't let nothing happen to her. That's what he said to me. He won't let anything happen to Jessica, my Jessica. That she was safe with him. So they went to lunch that day. She came back. She had a good time. Everything was fine. So this is about trust. You know, he's trying to build trust, right? So I was like, oh, okay. You know, he's a nice person and everything. At the time, 22 years old, 15, no way. I didn't know who he was. Let's make that very clear. Because I've heard people say, well, why would she let, you know, her daughter go out with a 22-year-old or whatever? No, that was not the case. She would have never gone out to lunch or anywhere with a 22-year-old. I assumed that it was high school buddies. You know, high school friends get together, you know, they want to do things, go out and stuff like that. He did not look 22, by all means. And if that's the case, what is he doing? He's 22 years old. What is he doing with 15, 16-year-olds?
Right. I wanted to say that when I was 22 years old, I didn't want to be around a 15-year-old girl. So the people that are trying to blame you, that's just people that like Charlemagne, because no 22-year-old man would want to be around a 15-year-old unless they're trying to take advantage of it. So you shouldn't feel any guilt about that. And obviously now you answered that question. You didn't even know. So go ahead and continue, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I know the type of mom I am, you know, and for those people who do not, you know, I'm just setting the record straight. I love my kids. I'm very protective, always have been protective of my children. I was a single mom, you know, my husband had passed away and I had 3 kids I had to take care of. You know, it was one time I wouldn't even let them go nowhere. And then I was told that I couldn't clean in. I had to give them space. And I gave them a little space, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, it hurt me to hear people say that, because I know me. I know the type of person I am. I know that I struggled real hard to provide for my kids and to give them the best that I could give them, you know. So it really bothered me a lot, you know. And I went through a lot of breakdowns over, you know, people, you know, out there saying things like that to me, you know. But I'm in a better place now and I'm okay. You know, what you say about me doesn't define who I am. I know who I am. I know what I have done, you know, to provide for my kids and to make sure, to the best of my ability, to keep them safe. It's predators like Charlemagne that, you know, prey on the innocent people. And, you know, he wants you to trust him. He tries to gain that trust. And when he does, boom, there you go. You know, what happened to Jessica happened with people like that, you know, that you put your trust in, thinking they're good guys and they really see your child as like a sister brother figure, when all along he had other intentions that we all weren't aware of until that early morning happened, you know. So after meeting him, they went out to lunch, and everything went well. I think it was about a month later, a month and a half. You know, he kept calling her, says, I'm having a birthday party and I would like you to come over. You know, she said initially, she said, no, I don't want to come. And then he's just like trying to persuade her. You know, he says, come on, you're my sister. You got to come. You got to be there. So she says, okay. Then she asks me. She says, Mom, my friend is having a birthday party. Can I go? Immediately, I said no, you know. And she kept asking. I was like, no, you can't go. I didn't want her to go alone. I didn't trust that. And so Malika Joyner, who is my oldest son's ex-girlfriend, was there, and she's also the mother of his two children. And at the time, she was like around 18, and she says, "Well, I'll go, Miss Reid. I'll go with her and watch her, you know." And so I let her go. I let her go, and they checked in with me. And says, "Well, we're okay. We stopped at the store and whatever." And I'm like, "Okay." And then a little while after that, I got a call from my son. He's like, "Mom, please tell me that you didn't let Jessica go." And immediately my heart dropped. I was like, I was shooken. I didn't know what to say. You know what I mean? I was like, all I can think of is something going to happen when he said that to me. And I paced the floor. It was getting late. I was pacing the floor. And, she didn't come home yet. No call. After that first call that they were okay, I got no more calls. I couldn't sleep. And usually when my kids go out, I wouldn't go to bed. I'll sit up and wait for them to come home. I couldn't sleep unless all my kids was in the house safe.
Listening to your story, not to cut you off, listening to your story, I just have to ask you a question. How do you feel about all the mothers and all the women that Charlemagne, and even the men that he's befriending? Charlemagne has a lot of celebrity black male friends, celebrity black female friends. And the reason why the Get Along gang works is because whoever is Charlemagne's handlers, he has connections to a lot of things. So you will find a lot of people, they've been saying it all over YouTube. Well, I like Charlemagne. He helped me do this. He hooked me up with this person. So they'll look past certain things because of people like that know how to, connect people to things, so they overlook stuff. So what do you say to all the black women and the black men that are celebrities, especially, that are friends with Charlemagne?
He is a wolf in sheep clothing. Okay? They see what he perceives to be. They befriend what they think they know. And so they ignore everything else. That's how I feel it's happening that way. They're ignoring everything because he's doing so much for everybody, and that's his way of covering. And I would tell all of them, open your eyes. Seriously, open your eyes. Because this is a serious thing that he did. And I don't know if this is, if my daughter is the only person, because actually it was mentioned about his wife at one time. And some other people that, I mean, he just make a mockery of it. It's okay. You know, to him, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. And people actually laugh and go along with this. This is what makes me crazy. How can you go along with a pedophile that talks about, you know, drugging and raping girls? Open your eyes. See him for who he really is. Then decide if he's good enough to be your friend or your associate. Personally, me, if I was in someone else's shoes, I would not want to befriend a person like that. I don't care what he can give me or what doors he can open. So open your eyes. That's what I would actually say to all of those people who, you know, are looking on the outside and not looking in. You know that this man did these things. He tells you it himself. He speaks on it himself. He tells you about Spanish fly. And one time I was with a girl and all of this, he drugged people and raped people. That's what it is. It's not consensual. And that's another thing that I've heard that I want to clear up. The fact that people are saying it was consensual. And I heard someone say that, so in the comments, a few times. It was not consensual. My daughter was raped. She was drugged. She was forced to drink. He kept, here, drink this, trying to persuade her to drink. So this was not consensual. And if you look at the documents, if you look at the police report, because right after the incident, she went immediately in the ambulance to the hospital. This was not consensual. And you can see in the report, the police report itself, what the detectives wrote in there. She was hysterical. She was out of control. She couldn't speak. She was delirious. She tore up that room, knocking things over, trying to get out when she came to where she can move around, because at first she could not even move her body. If you read the statements, the two guys that we are going after actually took her upstairs. She couldn't run, she couldn't fight, she couldn't protect herself or anything. So it was not consensual. And I want to make that clear, because like everything else, there's so many false things going on. And it's got to be cleared. And that's why we're here, to set the record straight. It was not consensual.
Okay. Let's bring your son into the screen for a second. Give him a chance to speak. Let me see. How you doing, brother? You here?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, man?
Okay. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself and just kind of tell people, how you felt from a male's perspective, like I was telling you over the phone, man. My hat go off to you, and God bless you, because you gotta deal with that every day that you hear the Breakfast Club as well. So I'm gonna put my mic on mute and just let you go.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a crazy situation. You're talking about my mother and my sister. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, I seen the pain, and the craziest thing is the memory that I have from that night. I didn't want them to go. You know what I'm saying? And I did express that to my mother. You know what I'm saying? And they went anyway. Um, but like my mom said, we didn't get any calls. We was trying to figure out where they was at and if they were safe. And then, finally we got a call, and then that's when we knew that something had happened. Now, like I said, there's a memory in my head, man, that it will never, ever, ever go away. You know what I'm saying? Once we got the call, and my mother called the ambulance and called 911, excuse me, and we went to Somerville Medical Center, and I saw my sister in the back of the ambulance, man. And you know, it's still even hard to talk about this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, my sister was back there. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't even walk. That put something in my heart, man. Some hate, and all I ever wanted to do. And to be honest with you, to this day, man, you know what I'm saying? I just want to do this man dirty. I mean, it's not all about that, man. But my mother raised us to protect our sister. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I failed my sister. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't protect her. You know, I mean, for a while, I looked for dude. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't get. I couldn't get to him. You know what I'm saying? And every time, now you can hear him on the radio. You see him on TV. It's like I relive it every day. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he came to the house, and picked my sister up, and then hearing him talk about it, he act like, oh, it wasn't me. Like my mom said, when he was speaking on DJ Academics, the video with DJ Academics with the interview he said something was going on in the room with a couple of his dudes. You know what I'm saying? I feel that if you call yourself a man and these dudes, then you are obligated to speak on it. My sister told me out her mouth, and we know the facts that she was violated. You know what I'm saying? And throughout the years, we still struggle with this. Personally, my relationship with my sister has been rocky too. And that's something that we still working on to this day. And it's still a hard thing for the family to deal with. We still trying to get, through it day by day. But at the same time, when you hear this man talking about it on the radio and joking about, situations where he put stuff in females' drink and just him just being disrespectful towards black women, period. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who are the people you with? I mean, like, how come they can't hold you accountable for what you did?
Don't
Why?
hey, hold on. Let me add this. Don't forget when he sniffed the chair. I think I saw
Yeah,
a
I
video.
saw
He
that the
sniffed the
other
chair
day.
with J Lo
I
left.
saw
Yeah, I
that.
saw that the
That's
other day.
crazy.
I saw that.
I was saying to myself, like, what kind of dude? I mean, I already know what kind of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is his circle of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he so protected? There's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of celebrities that he know and people, that he's making money with. Why can't one of those people in position of power stand up and say, yo, we got to address this, man. This, and with the documents and the stories that he put out and how he spoke on it, you can tell that it's lies. So why ain't nobody stepping up? You know what I'm saying? My mother and my sister has been pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to get support from all different types of people, and they turn their back on them. It's a handful of people, that really supports Jessica and want justice for Jessica. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is why the people ain't holding him accountable? That's the problem that I have with this whole
Exactly.
situation. This man
Yeah.
violated my sister. I've seen my sister cry, my mother cry, you know what I'm saying? And, I try to, deal with it in my way, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I only got one mother, and this is my only sister. You know what I'm saying? And people, on YouTube, they be talking about, oh, she was this, she was that, and they speaking and they don't have the facts. My mother said, you know, The email is gonna be up on this YouTube. If you want the documents, it's there for you to see for yourself. It's there for you to see for yourself. You can tell that the man is lying. We know the facts. But like I said, man, you know, every day I turn on the radio, it's like reliving the situation. I look on TV, reliving the situation. When this resurfaces or something comes up, we relive the situation over and over and over again. The other two people that, you know, were involved, you know, we trying to go after them. And when we get to them, they're going to fold. And even more, the truth is going to come out. But my thing is this man called himself a man. He got a wife. He got daughters. He got a sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you feel if that happened to your daughters or your sister? You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit there and ignore the situation and downplay it like it wasn't nothing, because it was. You got a whole family that's been going through years of hurt over this situation.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if legally they're gonna open back up the case, but the people should speak. I mean,
yes, the people should speak.
Yeah, it's we the people,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't allow stuff like that to go on, and then we still give our money and our advertising to people like that. He's making a lot of money for the right type of people, so that's why, you know, they have him up there. And shout out to Star for keeping the
shout out to Star,
and shout out to Choke No Joke, because I saw a lot of stuff that he did as well. So I want to definitely not try to take any credit from anybody. Anybody who shared Jessica Reid's story, shout out to you guys and everybody who's watching. You know, it's time to stand up and do something about it. I mean, we have the power to do something about it ASAP. So if you guys want the email, like I said, it's going to be in the description box, and let's show our support, not through just typing in the chat. Let's show our support through, you know, speaking and moving him out of his seat, you know. And I can't believe that we've allowed this to go on for so long, and just a suppression of information. And that's why I'm here. I got to make sure, a lot of us got to start making sure that we give out the true and the real information. So we can be the voice for the voiceless. So I definitely appreciate you guys for coming. And if you have anything else, you know, I'm just let you guys go.
Another thing that I want to say, what about all these organizations that support victims of sexual assault? You know, why they not supporting her? You know what I'm saying? Why they not helping her? You know what I'm saying? I've seen tweets where she's calling people out, and you know what I'm saying, she's sending messages and trying to get support, and nobody's supporting. Like as if it's not important.
Right.
It's the go along, get along game. I mean, I'm telling you, if it was a different person, they would say believe all women. But it's certain people, and this is what we're exposing. Certain people, they'll look the other way. And women are not going to be safe anywhere if they're going to go in rooms with certain people that people are going to look the other way with, because they're going to definitely look the other way if they're in that go along, get along game.
Right. So, and what if there are more victims?
They're definitely more victims.
Following my sister's story, and they're scared because they see what my sister's going through.
So we gotta start nipping this thing in the bud and holding people accountable. Yes, there are people that get accused of things like this, and they may be innocent, but clearly in this case, you guys did what you were supposed to do. Nobody can tell you what to do with your decision that you made. I mean, as most Black women, as mothers, they can understand and they can feel you try to protect your kids from further pain and further trauma. So I wouldn't feel any shame or any guilt, because like I said, I was 22 years old before, and I never wanted to be even around a 15-year-old unless it was in a gym and he was a male and I was showing him some post moves, because you know, you shouldn't, it's on us as men. It's not on, you know, coming around and trying to take advantage of a woman and her daughter. So you shouldn't feel any shame about that.
Right.
But, you got anything else, Mr. Reid?
I'm good right now. Thank you.
Okay. Mother, you got anything else, Mom?
I just want to say that we are definitely in pursuit of the two men that were also involved and that were never charged. You know, we have some information already, and we're going to continue until these two are brought in for the crimes that they committed.
And keep me posted. You have a way of contacting me. You can email me or whatever, and you can always come back on this platform and keep us updated, and let the people know what's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you so much for having us once again, and for shedding light on the Jessica story. We do appreciate you
Thank you.
very much.
Thank
yeah.
you. We do.
Well, I respect and salute both of y'all, especially y'all strength to come up here and speak for your sister and your daughter. I mean, that you guys are still trying to protect her, because I know if it's hard for you guys, then it's almost impossible for her to be able to get through an interview. So I
Right.
respect you guys,
Yeah.
and God bless both of you guys. And anytime you need to reach out to get a story out, you know how to contact me.
Thank
Yes.
you so much, man.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank the both of you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I just wanted to get the true facts out, and then now you guys can do what you want to do with it. If you guys still think it's not a go along, get along game, and this is not just about Charlemagne, because I wasn't talking about Charlemagne. Charlemagne put himself into position for this to happen to himself. But what this does, it does expose a network of people that are pretty much above the law. So hopefully you guys can stand up and be supportive of people who actually have documents that are willing to email them to you, so you can see the documents. This is not somebody alleging anything. These documents, will prove how he got to the point with the lesser charge. So I encourage everybody to go ask for those emails. I'm going to put it in the description box as soon as this broadcast is over. And we're going to keep exposing this go along, get along game. And then you guys going to have a lot of questions for the people that are around the people in this go along, get along game. Because the go along, get along game don't go like this. It go like this, and then it go up. Then it go like that again, and then it go up. And then the go along, get along game goes pretty high. So I love you guys. Have fun today. I have one more interview today with the Real Foundation. They're going to use my platform to, they got some great energy, great ideals. I'll let Ginger tell you herself. You're going to love this woman. She has a beautiful energy. She was an addict herself. She's 9 years or 10 years clean now. So she has a passion for helping women. She has a passion for helping convicted felon, especially find home ownership and just finding their own independence and getting back into society. I'm not getting paid for this. Matter of fact, I got to sign that MOA. And, I'm just helping someone out that I believe in her cause. And definitely she's going to help me and work with me so we can do similar things down in Brunswick. So I believe in the model. That's why I'm helping. I don't want to get paid for it. I want the knowledge so we can take that thing somewhere else and help people in a whole nother state, but state, city, whatever, but it's still the same programming and helping people. So that's what I'm about. I am about the drama too sometimes, but we're going to do a lot more positive stuff on this channel. So y'all stay tuned. God bless y'all.